So here we have my breakfast. I usually have my animal protein in the morning because animal protein is absorbed best in the morning. And I usually have animal protein once or twice a day. I don't go crazy on it. So this is chicken sausage, and this is the brand right here. Each piece of sausage is 2.5 grams of fat, so that's 5 grams of fat here. And you know, as far as sausage goes, it's a win. You know, you're not going to get any cleaner than this stuff here. So I've got my sausage, I've got my fruit or vegetable. In this case, it's my vegetable. I pre-cooked a bunch of sweet potatoes this weekend, so all I have to do this morning is nuke this whole plate for about 2 minutes. And the sweet potatoes here are known for their vitamin A, excuse me. And I will be getting almost 1,000% of my vitamin A this morning. So that's awesome. Now I will be taking these with my breakfast, of course. I will be taking 3 pills because there's 5 grams of fat here. Typically with 5 grams of fat, I take about 2, but there's also a lot of chomping going on here. So I will be taking 3 of these. Let's see, so you can see the dosage on there. And then I'll be taking my aquatics vitamins and a vitamin B1 because I am low on vitamin B per my blood work. So that'll be my breakfast this morning. I will see you at lunch. So it's about 10:30 and I'm making myself a cup of coffee, a cup of decaf. I already had my caffeinated cup today, and you know, it's not the best for me, mainly because I add my creamer to it, my fat-free creamer, but it is my my guilty pleasure. I'll have about 2 or 3 cups a day of coffee, one of them caffeinated. And then the rest of the day I'm drinking water, lemon water, or some teas occasionally, but for the most part it's coffee and water. But you know, keep in mind that some people with pancreatitis do have an issue with coffee, but I don't, so I drink it. The rest of my food for the majority of the day is typically clean, except for on the weekends I'll have a snack, low fat of course, but maybe more sugar in it, sometimes some chemical, but for the most part I'm clean, but daily I do have 2 to 3 cups of coffee. Shame on me. Alright, I sat down to have my cup of coffee and spotted my pumpkin seeds that I made the other day, so I'm going to have my first snack of the day, and I'm just going to have a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds, and this is a 1/2 cup here. I'm sorry with the, it's kind of hard to hold my camera still and do this at the same time, but okay, so I when I have my pumpkin seeds or I don't know, anything else small that needs to be measured out due to fat, I will grab my measuring cup. That's a 1/2 cup, and I filled it halfway, which is a 1/4 cup. And a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds with the shell is 3 grams of fat, and my breakfast was only 5-ish grams of fat, so this is definitely safe for me, working into my 30 grams of fat per day. And 1 vial case, and that'll be my snack with my coffee. So every day I get some kind of stress relief in, and since I have the day off today from work, I'm going to use the hot tub. But usually I'll just do something like deep breathing or some light yoga. But today, hot tub. Okay, so part of what I do actually on a regular basis is I just create new meals. Obviously a lot of them don't make it on Happy Panky, sometimes because they suck and sometimes because I can't get them all on there. But today for lunch, I'm just kind of throwing some things together. In my head, I imagined it being corn, bean, tomato, topped with nacho cheese. But my garden has no tomatoes. My garden's pretty much dead. It's winter's coming. The only thing that's left in my garden right now is this purple kale. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty plant too. You know, if you're ever going to grow anything, kale is probably the easiest thing to grow, and I got so many compliments on this plant this year, just because it's pretty. So we are going to have our grain for lunch. We're going to have corn, and then we're going to top it with pinto beans, rinsed, and sprinkle some aqua seasoning on it. That recipe is going to be available below. And then mix some kale into it, you know, to add some color. Actually, I'm going to cook these three things together and then sprinkle the seasoning into it. So it's not going to be as pretty laid out as it is in my head, but the flavor will be there. And then we're going to top it off with low-fat nutritional yeast nacho cheese, which the link to that recipe will also be below. And I'll have a little Mexican dish that's high in vitamins, and it's got protein in the yeast in the beans, and nutritional yeast is wonderful for vitamin B. The serving size here is 3 rounded tablespoons, which we're having probably more than that in this dish. But look at these percentages. Those are all vitamin B percentages. It's amazing. It's good stuff. See, here they are, all the vitamin Bs, including my thiamine that I am often low in, but that only has, only 820%. I think I'm good. So I will post the picture when I'm done, and then later on today I will let you know if I enjoyed it or not. Okay, so here it is starting to cook. I've got the corn and the beans in there. I chopped up my kale. I'm gonna put it in. And I'm just going to put a lid on this and let it simmer while I make my nacho cheese sauce, which the recipe is, like I said, in a link down below. Alright, I will check back at my next step. Okay, so here's my bowl. The purple turned a little green, which sometimes that happens. Sometimes the color cooks right out of it. But I decided while I was cooking that I would add some lime juice, and I'm embarrassed to say I'm using one of these guys just because this was an unplanned meal. I try not to use this as much as possible, but I really think this would be good with lime, so forgive me as I use this fake stuff and squirt it on there. Okay, and then we have our nacho cheese. Hopefully it pours in. The more, the better. This is almost the entire recipe there. And then I also, while I was cooking, decided that I wanted some olives. So I have 4 black olives here sliced up. 4 olives is typically 2 grams of fat. And this is pretty much a low-fat dish, so I can afford that. So that is my Mexican bowl, and I will let you know how it tastes later on. So I'm getting ready to eat my lunch here, and I thought that I should show you my motivation for staying healthy. And actually, while I'm talking here, I just realized that I've got this picture on my phone. I want this body. This is the body that I want, and I've recently started working out, probably about, I don't know, a few months ago, and then I had to stop because things got crazy at home with some medical issues with somebody else, and I'm getting back to it, and I'm using this as my motivation. You know, obviously these abs are probably just a dream to me now because exercising with pancreatitis, you can't really do crunches. You're getting, well, I've tried it and I've hurt myself, so I worked out everything else. So let's see, that wasn't what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you every day I will do something to motivate myself to eat better, and I wanted to show you my favorite YouTube channels. Of course, Happy Panky. But other than that, I will watch Dr. Furman, but you know, he doesn't have too much on there. Skinny on Raw, I just subscribed to that yesterday, but I don't really like it. But Freely the Banana Girl, I love her. I don't know why. I don't get much nutritional information out of her, and I really can't eat raw, and she does raw. But you know, for any reason, she's eating fruit. You know, she's eating healthy, and that motivates me when other people do it. So I've been watching her the longest, and Anna Jaffrey. Let's see, and then there's Freely the Banana Girl too. That's her second channel. And the Protein Chef, he's got a lot of good low-fat protein recipes. The Pancreas Patient, that's just for informational purposes. Happy, Sexy, Healthy. You know, Jason Robel, I love him. I love this guy. He's so fun to watch. And, you know, a lot of times his recipes are high fat, but every once in a while he'll throw a low fat one in there that I can actually eat. But I just watch him because he's fun. So those are my YouTube channels. So, you know, if I don't watch something motivational on TV or whatever that day, then when I go to bed, I will flip through here and see who's got something to remind me to eat healthy. But, you know, this is my main one right here. This is Dr. Oz, and this is what I'm going to watch today while I'm eating lunch. And that should take care of my need for motivation. But, you know, you gotta do whatever works for you to keep you motivated. And just, you know, me seeing other people healthy makes me want to be healthy. So I just thought that would be important because that's part of my day in the life of chronic pancreatitis. I get my motivation from somewhere. Okay, on to my lunch. I'm starving. Okay, so I'm getting a little hungry here, and dinner's not going to be done for about an hour or two, so I'm going to make myself a shake here, and as you see, I'm using water instead of yogurts or milks or juices or non-dairy milks. And I do use those sometimes, but I try to use water to get more water into my body. So I'm starting out with water, I don't know, about a cup and a half there. And then I'm going to add my frozen cooked bananas. I don't digest raw fruits and vegetables well, so I pre-cook large batches of bananas and pineapples sometimes for shakes. And what I do is I bake it for 20 minutes on each side at 350, let it cool, and then I freeze them in the freezer. So I'm going to add these 4 bananas to my shake. And then I also have some fresh dates here, and they're medjool dates. I removed the seed. And, you know, if you don't want chunks in your shake, you can add maple syrup or honey instead. But that's my sweetener. There are my dates, and it kind of leaves like little chewy bites in there, but I actually like that. So, and I'm going to add a little cinnamon. Sometimes I do it without cinnamon, but today I'm feeling the cinnamon. Okay, so I have it on there. I'm going to blend it up. Before I do, I want to let you know that I used lukewarm water this time. I don't like ice cold shakes, so usually I'll do like a little bit warmer to kind of make the shake itself just kind of like room temperature, but that does give it like a funky texture with the bananas. The colder it is, the more it's gonna feel like actual non-cooked bananas. So today I just used water from the fridge, and it's gonna be a little chilly for me, but that's all right. So this is it. I'm gonna make this, and I will catch up with you at dinner. Okay, so this is my dinner for today. I bought little squashes, cut them in half, and filled my family's with some beef, and filled mine with apples and onions. and just a tablespoon of walnuts on each. A tablespoon is 5 grams of fat. And then I drizzle a little bit of MCT oil on top because it looks a little dry, so that should make it okay. I haven't made that before, so I will let you know after I eat it if it's good or not. And then I also have, for sides, baked potatoes, and then I roasted some grapes with balsamic vinegar for dessert. And that's it.